the Muslims are able to capture each and every single one of the 80 people who were trying to come in and create a hysteria amongst the Muslims. There's a request from the brother side if the young kids could be sat down and kept with the parents. That would be, I think, helpful for everyone's attention span. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Yesterday I had a suggestion as well. Today I'm having a suggestion for having someone who can be there for the defense of the Muslims. Yesterday I suggested during the Amal that maybe we should have someone who can be a babysitter. They'll get the thawab, the microphone is loud enough, they'll get the thawab of Jawshin al-Kabir, but maybe we can go and take them into the room and have someone look after the kids. Maybe someone who's also there by the swings so that, if bandages are needed and whatever. But that's just a humble suggestion. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Through the miracle and the barakah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, each and every single one of these 80 people are captured. No lives are lost, no blood is spilled from our side, not from their side. And the masks are taken off, and they're exposed, that this was Quraysh all along. Now the Muslims are not only in a state of fear, they're in a state of betrayal. Like, we're coming to do Umrah, we're coming with sacrificial animals, and you want to just kill us on the road? What happened to making the road safe for the Hajjaj, for the people coming for Umrah? What is this? And now they're all thinking, what is Rasulullah going to do? Is he going to teach them a lesson? Are we going to make them prisoners of war? What are we going to do? Rasulullah at this moment decides to go and let them go. He decides to free them. This is not something that makes all of the Muslims happy, as you can probably imagine. If someone right now were to come in and do something over here and act even crazy, not even violent, act crazy, what would be the pulse of this community over here? Would you want to let him go, or would you want to at least turn him over to the police? But no, what does the Prophet do? He lets them go. After this, he goes and sends, we mentioned this person, that this person was sent on the camel of Rasulullah, and he was sent in and he was beaten up. After this, the first person who comes as a negotiator, he's that one who sees the animals out in front and the Muslims doing labbaik Allahumma labbaik. And he goes, now, how does this person have the jur'ah now to go to Quraysh and say, we're not going to have any affiliation with you anymore? Our treaty is broken with you. Why? Because remember, from the Muslim side we were mentioning that they were already scared from the Battle of Ahzab. Was his tribe present at the Battle of Ahzab or no? Yes, they were. They were there at the Battle of Ahzab 1 year ago. Their resources are diminished. Their morale is low. Their faith in the Quraysh is low. Now, if you have, and I won't take any names in the geopolitics of today's nation states and the superpowers, but there are some Arab countries who are able to act as bullies because there is a big brother who's a superpower, that if you come and mess with this Arab country, then you have to go and worry about a superpower. The superpower at the time is the Quraysh. Why are they the first to go and make a treaty or try to negotiate with Rasulullah? Because they don't have any kind of trust left with Big Brother. Otherwise, you'll just let the Quraysh go and take care of business. Let them come and do the negotiations. But that's not what you see. Every tribe for themselves. They're all coming for their own survival. Nobody trusts Quraysh anymore. So when they come and they realize that Rasulullah doesn't even want war, there isn't even a need to go and do any kind of treaty. Just let them in, let them do what they want, and let them go. When the Quraysh come and speak so harshly with them, they say, oh Quraysh, this is not what we had the bay'ah with you for. This is not our ahd with you. We've already had such a bad idea, an opinion of you from the Battle of Ahzab, and now you're talking to us like this, and you won't even take the reasonable suggestions of Muhammad Rasulullah. We are going to pull out of our treaty with you. And remember, we mentioned, not last night was Rajah and Kabir's analysis, the night before. We mentioned that, again, a request if we could get some of these children to be taken care of and sat down next to their mothers or fathers, that would really help with the attention span of everybody. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. are very cute kids. But just right now is not the time to run, that's all. So anyway, then Rasulullah captures all of these people. He sends someone in, gets beaten up. A negotiator comes. We're fast forwarding all the way up until now that someone has revoked their ahad with Quraysh. Now the circumstances are different. Rasulullah is going to send someone else in. Who does he decide in his wisdom is the right person to go and send into Mecca? Remember, the first person we already mentioned, his tribe has been neutral. They're Switzerland. They do not have any animosity towards the Muslims. They don't have any animosity towards the Quraysh. They don't have any blood on their swords. The next person that Rasulullah offers, and he says, I nominate you, go into Quraysh. Go and be our representative. Go and talk with your family members. Go and talk amongst them. Who is that? Umar ibn Khattab, the person who will later become the second Khalifa. Umar ibn Khattab has a very interesting response to Rasulullah. He says, Ya Rasulullah, if I go in, they're going to kill me. And I don't think that it's really wise for me to go. Fine, I'll go and try to talk to them, but I don't think it's a good idea. I have another suggestion. My suggestion is that send Uthman. We have just one comment, one observation. And look. Sallu ala Muhammad wa alihi. We have one comment, and that is when Rasulullah tells you to go, why is he telling, by the way, from our perspective, why is he telling Umar ibn Khattab to go? Because the last person who he just sent was beaten up, but he also doesn't have any tribal hatred from Quraysh's side. Umar ibn Khattab's tribe is also still very good with Quraysh. After all, it's Umar ibn Khattab's uncle who is Abu Jahl. Abu Jahl may be dead now, but his tribe and Umar, they're still not exactly on the worst of terms. There are still people who he can go, and maybe he can get some people to make a case for Rasulullah. So Rasulullah knows what he's doing. He's like, look, here is where I'm going to go and put forward Umar. He might be useful for us. Umar says, no, thank you. I don't want to go in at all. I have a suggestion. Go and send Uthman. Now, even amongst the analyses of our brothers at Sunnah, Umar is the more rough person. Uthman is the more meek and timid type of person. Okay? Why would you go and offer this person, of all people, to be the negotiator? If you're scared that you're going to go get killed, offer someone like Ali. Why Uthman? Umar's reasoning, we have a few comments maybe why he offered up Uthman. And this is also from his own words, what we find in the Rawayat. Umar says that Uthman is cousins with Abu Sufyan. Maybe he can get something actually done. Rasulullah looks at him and says, I'm telling you to go. Well, okay, Uthman, are you ready to go? Uthman's like, okay, fine, I'll go. Uthman now goes, he's the emissary of the Muslims. He has been told by Rasulullah, talk to Abu Sufyan and go visit some of their war captives. Remember, we're going to see a war captive. We've already gone, we're rewinding right now. Who are we going to see come out of chains as Suhail ibn Amr is negotiating? We're going to see Suhail's son, Abu Jahl. Right? Go and visit some of these war captives who have recently become Muslims inside Mecca. Go and raise their morale. Tell them that we're here. Don't lose hope in the rahmah of Allah. Okay. Uthman goes. He is being expected back in a few days. Uthman takes too long. He goes to Abu Sufyan. Abu Sufyan is not ready to hear what he has to say. Uthman decides, I'm going to go and start talking to all of the different tribes. My cousins, they're starting to talk to me. He starts going on side missions. Fine, he has to go and talk to the war captains. He goes and talks to them. He starts doing things that he wasn't even asked to do. What this ends up doing is there are different campfires that are there in Hudaybiyah that the Muslims have where they are all camping around and they're having their conversations, their food, etc., etc. And one of them is like, hey, Uthman's been gone a long while. I wonder what happened to him. Did he get killed? I don't know. that's maybe those guys know better. Maybe they didn't even ask. They're like, I don't know. Person from the next fire, he goes and hears. Wait, are they saying that Uthman got killed? Hey guys, did Uthman get killed? What happened over here? Did Uthman get killed? The next fire. Hey, did you guys hear? I heard that these guys are talking, they're saying that maybe Uthman got killed. You guys have any idea? I don't know, let's go and ask. They go and ask, hey, Uthman got killed? Question mark, exclamation point. How do rumors spread in the Muslim community? In any community. Someone might go and say, Brother X got divorced? Question mark. I don't know, let me go and put a status on Facebook. X got divorced? Question mark. The next person on Twitter, X got divorced! Exclamation point. And now the rumor mill spreads until it becomes wildfire, until finally X finds out from his wife, he's like, you got divorced? By this point, he's been divorced from 4 different wives. He's a serial killer, and he's a fugitive of the law. Rumors don't spread intentionally, but when they do spread, and the person finds out about it, it's Chinese whispers happen somehow, right? This is how it happens with Uthman's case. Uthman, look, his problem over here, what we criticize him for is, you had one job. Come back. You're not some fighter, you're not some warrior, you're not beloved over there. What are you doing over there? That's our question / our criticism. You should have come back. Everybody is now starting to have khayalat, they're starting to have thoughts. Rasulullah knows that he's not dead, but he sees that there is some kind of unrest in the Muslim community, and people think that Jibreel has descended. Rasulullah now goes to a tree, and he starts asking for bay'ah. This is known as bay'atul Ridwan. This is talked about in Surah Al-Fatiha. Everyone starts saying, Nazala Ruh al-Qudus, Nazala Ruh al-Amin, the angel of revelation has come down. Rasulullah is asking for bay'ah to be given to him. Everybody comes, they all come and do bay'ah. When they were later asked, what is this bay'ah about? Someone went and said, al-Maut. We went and did bay'ah that we were going to die. Why? Because we're going to go and avenge Uthman. Everybody is like, oh my God, Uthman is dead. They killed one of our own. First they went and beat someone up. Then we went and sent someone in just to go and do peaceful negotiations. They killed him? No, hold on. Now we're actually going to go to war. Rasulullah goes and takes bay'ah that if any of you who are here today, if you want to leave, go leave. That's life for you. But if you're with me, we stick together till death. All of them pledge their allegiance, they're like, well, we'll keep till death. As they're starting to get more and more riled up, who just strolls right into the Muslim camp again, as if it's nobody's business? Uthman ibn Affan. Let's go and avenge Uthman! Hey, Uthman, what are you doing here? What are you guys doing? We're coming to avenge you, of course. What are you doing alive and well? So now, what happens is, when you have this much emotion, the riwayat are really funny when you read history. They need to go and, vent their anger somewhere, so they're like, hey, you did tawaf without us. So, no idea, what are you talking? Where did you even hear that I did tawaf without you? Right? And so they have these weird, accusations against Uthman. Uthman's like, no, I didn't. I was just, I was delayed. The tensions died out. What is the purpose of telling you all of this? What's the purpose of telling you that after the well incident, the miracle, there was another miracle where 80 people came and they were, thwarted. Then afterwards, Umar was told to go. He says, no, let Uthman go. Uthman takes a long time. Now the riled up Muslim emotions are, somewhere else. They're all ready to go to war. Uthman comes back, emotions are turned again. The reason why is to go and highlight that there was a roller coaster of emotions from the point where they set off from Medina all the way up until the actual treaty is signed. When they're at the southern point of Mecca, they're all thinking that they're going to go to Umrah this year. Rasulullah never said that. He knows that they're not going to actually be able to go. But he says, I want to go for Umrah, unrelated to my dream. These guys all think that it's related to the dream. It's a prophetic dream. Emotions are high at this point. Then they get to, oh no, I'm going to ask you such a historical question. This was from night 1. Let's see who remembers. What was the city that they got to that was where they had to divert from because Khalid ibn Walid was there. What's the name of that city, brothers and sisters? They were going on their way to Mecca. The city is called Asfan. Asfan, they're over there. Khalid ibn Walid is about to ambush them. They pray Salatul Khawf. Now they're at a fearful state. Then Rasulullah goes and gives a sermon. He says, what do you think we should do? Abu Bakr goes and gives his unsolicited opinion. People are confused. People are riled up. Then they go and, where do they go? What's that side route? They go through that valley, that narrow valley with the thorns and the heat, and there's no animals, but there's blisters and thorns and all of these kinds of things happening. Now they're frustrated. Where are the emotions going? From fear to anger. Now, after they get through that, they, by the way, already have ran out of water. Now they're fearful, they're angry. Then their emotions are elated because Rasulullah performed a miracle. Then they're going through this valley with thorns and etc. They're hurt. Now they get to Hudaybiyah. Again, they're out of water. Again, the emotions are played with. Then Rasulullah makes a miracle happen at the well. Emotions are high again. Then 80 people come, people are scared again. Then they go and send in someone, he's beat up. They're frustrated. Someone comes and he sees, oh, these guys are awesome people. We shouldn't be negotiating with them. We should be going and letting them come and do Umrah. These guys are hopeful again. Then they go and hear that Rasulullah is telling Umar ibn Khattab to go. They're like, this is weird. Why would you go and tell him to go? Umar says, no, please, not me. They're like, what is this? Rasulullah isn't being listened to? Uthman is now sent. Uthman is lost for all intents and purposes. Weekly. The Muslim people are, for all intents and purposes, Uthman is dead. We need to go and avenge Uthman. Okay? Anger again. There's a roller coaster of emotion until finally more negotiators come from Meccans, from Banu Thaqif, from other tribes, until finally the treaty is made. And is this treaty something that the Muslims are happy with? That you won't be able to do Umrah this year. If anybody leaves Medina, meaning leaves Islam, we don't have to turn them over to you, even if you ask for them. Number 3, even if someone leaves Mecca and they become a Muslim and they want to go to Medina, if we come and ask for them, you have to give it back to us. Give them back to us if they're a man. 10 years there will not be any fighting. For the Muslims, they can go and make treaties with whoever they want. With the Mushrikeen, they can make treaties with whoever they want. At this point, the last thing that happened for these people who came with the treaties, and by the way, this person is trying to grab the beard of Rasulullah, they're slapping it away. All of this is happening. Emotions are at an all-time high. They don't know where their emotions should go. At this point, do the Muslims feel like, man, I just need to let this out and I want to go and kill somebody? What happened with Abu Jandal? What did Umar ibn Khattab say? He says, look, my animal's over there. My sword is over there. We criticize this stuff. Look, he's a son. He's not supposed to, in the religion of Allah, you're not supposed to, a son is not supposed to go and, even if you're a mushrik, even if he's an alcoholic, you're not supposed to go and raise your hand and raise your sword against your mother or father. The emotions are riled up. Umar ibn Khattab is a prime example of that. And what happens? Rasulullah makes a treaty, and in this treaty, they're not willing to say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. They say, no, Bismillah Allahumma. They're not willing to accept Rasulullah, Muhammad or Rasulullah. They're not willing to accept it. They want him to be called Muhammad ibn Abdullah, kama huwa qala before. Throughout all of this, after the Muslims do sign the treaty, what does Rasulullah say? And by the way, what did Suhail ibn Amr say? He says, this one first, my son first, this Abu Jandal, he just ran away, you have to give him back to us. And the Muslims are so torn apart from this. Immediately after that, my final point, because I know that the organizers asked me 2 nights ago to give them 15 minutes so they could present about the finances. What does Rasulullah say? As soon as they go and take Abu Jandal back, the Muslims are watching a new Muslim who has just accepted Islam in chains be dragged from their eyes back to Mecca with Rasulullah right there in front of them. Umar ibn Khattab erupts. He says, aren't you really the messenger of Allah? Didn't you say that we're going to be going to Umrah? He says, yes, I did say we're going to Umrah. And yes, I am the Prophet of God. You have a problem? He says, but didn't you say that we were going to Umrah? Says, I didn't say that we were going this year. I didn't say that we were actually going to complete it this year. He said, no, well, you didn't say that, but like, and then he finishes off his conversation with Rasulullah. Then he goes to Abu Bakr. And he starts over the same conversation all over again. This is in both of our sources. He wasn't satisfied. Later on, when he's the Khalifa, he goes and says, if I had 100 more people that day who were on the same viewpoint as me, I would have left Islam that day. This is why he's the Khalifa, he's remembering this. Rasulullah, after seeing all of this, after he's been yelled at by one of his companions, what does he say? He says, stand up. Sacrifice your animals. Shave your heads. Maybe you didn't hear me. Stand up. Sacrifice your animals. Shave your heads. Stand up. Sacrifice your animals. Shave your heads. 3 times Rasulullah says this. No, Ali Islam is ready, but Rasulullah stops it. Nobody listens. We'll continue inshallah tomorrow night.